Okay, today we're going to start creating our spaceship game. First thing we're going to do in this hierarchy over here, we're going to go ahead and right click and create an empty game object. And let's label it spaceship. Okay, pretty straightforward. And so we have an empty game object, and let's take a look here. Make sure the position is 0, 0, 0. Let's all start there. And then if we right click on the spaceship, we can add a child object. And I'm going to put a cube inside there. And for now, that's going to be our spaceship, but later on we'll make a 3D model and put that in there. And if you want to play around with the scale on the x-axis, you can see how you could, it'll stretch it out a little bit there. By the way, you could toggle this 2D and 3D button, 2D button, and then if you, I'm holding Alt on my computer and dragging the mouse around to take a look at this thing. And you can see if you're in 2D, that's the way it's being projected over here. But you can put it back to 3D to kind of look around. It's kind of fun to do that. Okay, so for now, the cube is going to be the body of our spaceship. And right now, and then later on, we will put a 3D model in there. Okay, so select the spaceship game object, and we're going to add a new script. We're going to create a script, okay? And we're going to call this thing Spaceship. And let's use some camel case just to get used to that. And we're going to call it Spaceship Script, okay? And go ahead and hit Create and Add. And then you'll see that in the Assets folder we have a new script file. And if we double click this, it will open up our editor. And let's go ahead and this went onto my other monitor. I'll drag this on. And here we go. What we're going to do is today we're going to use, we're going to type in some code to move the spaceship around. And so what we're going to first do is we're going to create a private float. Now float is it's a number, and it could be a decimal. And what's weird if you have no experience in coding is you have to put this little F after your number. That stands for float, and we can get into that in depth at another time, but for now just know that you have to put the F after there. And then so here we go. There's going to be a lot of I'm going to do some copying and pasting here to make the video shorter, and I'm going to copy this code that I had written before, and I'm going to paste it right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you take your time and hopefully we're zoomed in enough on this code. I should probably figure out how to zoom in on this. Let's see, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Well, anyway, let's just leave it there. And so what it says here is if input get key W, and Unity knows how to look for these, when you put it in these quotation marks, it says if you're looking for the W key, and this means or, these two straight up and down lines here means or if the up key is pressed, then his position. Now transform, if you take a look at the spaceship, you'll see that this is called transform. His body, if you will, the bulk of this guy, that his transform is at 0, 0, 0, and his rotation and his scale. You can look at the details of the transform there, and we're going to reference his position here, and vector 3 refers to the x, y, and z coordinate system, and we're going to say is up, and then we're going to multiply it by speed. This means multiplied by, and then this time dot delta time means over time, and it has a consistent timekeeper built into Unity. Okay, so we have this speed here, and that's the rate at which this is going to move, and so that's going to take you a bit of time to type this out. Make sure you put all the punctuation exactly right. And let's just test and see. Oh, one further thing. You need to make sure that if it is not saved, see this little circle there? It means it hasn't been saved. If I push Control S, it saves, and then when I test, it will actually apply that code. If I didn't save it, nothing would have happened. I should have probably tried to test it first to prove that, but you could do that on your own if you want. So now I push play, and I push the arrow keys, and you can see this guy is indeed flying around. Okay, and okay, so go ahead, and that's going to take you some time. Keep this video short, and then next time we'll adjust the camera so that you don't see, so that it stays two-dimensional, and then we'll move on. We'll shoot some projectiles, have some enemies fly at you, and put a canvas on top so that you can keep score and stuff like that. Okay, so go ahead and have your guy moving around, and I will just keep it right there for the last. If you want to pause it there, this is the end of the video, and that is all the code you need to add to your spaceship. Okay, have fun coding.